caring for someone you love, it's not a burden on you. It brings you joy as well to, be able to support somebody. My grandma's very strong-willed, so she tried her best to be able to do everything independently. It was just that over the years after she moved here, she had gotten older, and also in some areas she became weaker and she couldn't move around as much. Things that she used to be able to do for herself alone became things that she needed help with. Because I have such a close relationship with my grandmother, my career goals were sort of oriented in that way. At work, we deal with a lot of things regarding older adults and chronic disease and management for their chronic diseases. And at home, we've been through a lot of those same things. With her comorbidities, with her chronic disease, she has atrial fibrillation, she has hypertension, so she'll get tired more easily, out of breath, those kinds of things. There are risks of heart failure. She also has arthritis and the 2 shoulder injuries. All of these things make each other complicated. My grandmother also suffered a stroke. It impacted a lot of her mobility. She needed a wheelchair to move around. She obviously had a lot more medications afterwards. It's hard for one person to essentially take care of all of these responsibilities. Things like picking up prescriptions, making appointments. There was physiotherapists, visits from the speech language pathologist. We got PSW support. The discharge specialist after the hospital directed us to a lot of these supports, but our role was essentially figuring out what kind of care she needed. When I learned the term early palliative care, I was able to separate it sort of from the definition that I had before, which was just end of life. I learned that it includes care for people like my grandmother who have multiple illnesses that are ongoing and that are long-lasting. That sort of connected those dots for me, that it was not necessarily just about caring for a person at the end of their life, but improving their health and their quality of life. In the beginning, when she came back from the hospital, I would try to do as much as I could so that she would have to do as little as possible. I learned to reel it back a little. It made my grandma happier or more lively when she was able to be more independent. I know that was really important for her. I'm really grateful to have my friends in my life. I'm able to be vulnerable with them, I'm able to be open with them, and that's, in general, just a really great stress reliever and like a source of joy. I think family is honestly like the core, biggest support system. They're able to be there for me whenever I need it. When you're able to bounce responsibilities off of each other, nobody has to necessarily be overwhelmed with anything. It works much better as a team. When you have that love around you, it makes everything a lot brighter